My name is Libby Sipe. I'm a Southern Maine artist working mostly in acrylics and inks, and I'm right now at Kimball Street Studio in Lewiston. These are some of my early works. They're all pen and ink with watercolor that I started 2 years ago under the duress of my husband saying I needed to start working with my artwork again after a 10-year hiatus. They are just the beginning. These were just created just to create and get back into the flow of expressing myself in an art form again. Okay, so this piece was my first acrylic piece of my series that I call the Memory Series. It's a portrait of my dad, and I realized one day that I couldn't remember what his face looked like anymore. Everyone always told me that I have his nose, so I cut the nose out because I don't need to remember what that looks like, because I have it. But there are only certain elements I remember. Everything else is really hazy and fuzzy. And so that's what I tried to portray in this, using colors as my emotional outlet to express my feelings, how I feel about him in my memories, and using that as guidance. And that really worked for all of the pieces that I've done since then in my Memory Series, mostly focused around colors and expressive natures of how they reflect on my emotion. So this piece is Bubbles, and it's actually a portrait of my daughter from 2 years ago, and she was just happily playing with bubbles outside, and I just loved that memory, and I decided to paint it, and just the joy on her face. She actually picked out the palette. She picked out the whole palette herself, so I worked with the colors that she chose because I felt that that would be the best choice for a portrait of herself, to represent her own colors. This piece I call Crocodile Love. It remained untitled for a very long time, and it was just before the show that I named it. This piece, I can't go into depth on what it means. It's very much a diary entry for me that was very close to my heart, and that's where I want it to stay, but I hope people can come and take something away from it for themselves. Maybe it makes them think of something that they've done in their life, or maybe something they've witnessed in their life, or another emotion that they could find in this piece. I am very fond of this piece. It's my favorite one in my series. So I hope you guys can come down and come see my show at the Kimball Street Studio in Lewiston. It's going to be up for the June 25th Art Walk, so pop on by and take a look.